welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and I am not playing a league. I am playing the Magic Online Showcase Challenge. For performing well on Magic Online throughout the season, you get qualifier points. Going 4-1 or 5-0 in leagues gets you these. There's some other ways to get them as well. And I'm always busy on the weekends, so I never get to use them. I frequently end seasons with like 100 qualifier points in my account that just burn off and are no good to anyone at that point. But I'm free on a Sunday, and I'm playing the Legacy Showcase Challenge, which costs 40 qualifier points to enter. Making the top 8 of this event qualifies me for the Legacy Showcase Final, and then the winner of that event goes to the Magic Online Championship Series, which is basically like the World Championships for Magic Online. And I think first and second in the mocks, the MOCS, end up going to actual Worlds too. Like there is a Pro Tour pipeline here as well. So this video will be a little higher stakes, a little more competitive, and I have chosen a deck that I have a lot of faith in. This is Pokemoki's Next Level Dimir. That is what he has branded this deck. Basically, the two theories at play here are that, one, Dimir tempo is a little bit anemic. Nethergoyf doesn't actually hit that hard if it's not backed by Lightning Bolt and Delver of Secrets. Like Tamiyo plus Nethergoyf, you're kind of pulling your plan in two different directions with those 2/1 drops. So having the cheese factor of Troll of Khazad-dûm into Reanimate gives you that giant monster that might actually end the game. And the Dimir Tempo Reanimator deck right now, without Psychic Frog holding the room together, it's really hard to actually pivot off of the Reanimate package because there's too many cards and the sideboard's not good enough. But this sideboard is just 3 Reanimates. You just get those out. Troll of Khazad-dûm is still a Polluted Delta. Metamorphosis Fanatic is still a 2-mana 4/4, and if people are bringing in Leyline of the Void, Nile Spellbomb, Grafdigger's Cage, etc., Surgical Extraction versus an actual fully juked dedicated Dimir Tempo deck, which is not how Reanimator is constructed anymore, we get some virtual card advantage there. It's just kind of a gentle hybrid of the Dimir Tempo deck and the Dimir Reanimator deck in a way that I hope will surprise some people. I recorded a league with this deck already, and depending on how this challenge goes for me, like if I make top 8, I'll rush this out immediately, and you'll see the league where I practiced farther down the road. If this doesn't go so hot, maybe I'll release it in sequence. I don't know. I'm still determining that based on how today goes, but there is more content with this deck either coming or available, depending on what actually happens here. But I do like it. I like the play patterns, love a cheese factor, love a juke, and I trust Pokemoki with deck building in general. If I don't know particularly or have strong opinions about what the best deck is, I trust that Pokemoki will have some clever way to sideswipe the metagame. And here we are, Showcase Challenge coming up with Next Level Dimir. I'm on the play in round 1 versus James Casau, friend of the show, Grixis Control Wizard, current. I don't think he's the trophy leader, but he's been steadily top 3, top 5 all season long. There are 238 people in this event, which means the total will be 9 rounds. I will play until I take 2 losses, or if the last loss happens super late, top 16 is what we're playing for. I don't care about top 32 and beyond. Obviously, the event hasn't started yet. I'm just setting expectations. There won't necessarily be 9 rounds, but hopefully there's 12, where I just top 8 and then win. Resist the urge to scroll to the timeline for spoilers here. I don't love Force of Will versus Grixis Control, if that is what James is doing. I do love Baleful Strikes, I love Ponder. Metamorphosis Fanatic got a lot upside on that one. James does main deck Cling to Dust, which is something my Reanimator plan has to worry about a little bit. Gotta respect it. He is a Thoughtseize deck. I don't think he's a Wasteland deck. If he is, there might be like 1 or 2, but it's not going to be a dedicated Wasteland plan. I could probably just Google his list, honestly. Well, folks, I've got a mixed bag of news here. The bad news is that James did not show up for our match. And James, I hope everything's okay. Sucks to see somebody, I don't know, sleep in, get the time zones wrong, forget about the event. Whatever happened here, hope you're right over there, James. The good news is we won round 1 and didn't have to play any cards. awkward start, but I mean, in a 9-round event with high stakes, we take any win we can get to the next round, I guess. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play for round 2, and I have a very quick Troll of Khazad-dûm. Disrupted Troll of Khazad-dûm. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to Thoughtseize on 1, and then I can cycle Reanimate on 2. Or pivot to Strix or Ponder if information changes. I'm going to fetch my basic Swamp to make sure I have mana to do everything next turn. Bonamol to 5. That's good news for my Thoughtseize. Okay. So we have some sort of brew here. Ocelot Pride, Swords to Plowshares, Mockingbird. Okay, Daze and Plow both break up my turn 3 Troll plan. And I don't want to play against 2 Ocelot Prides. I don't want to play against any Ocelot Prides. That is the way this game gets cheesed out. Okay, I'm going to settle into control mode. I could have taken the Daze there, but I think against this Mull to 5 one-lander that encourages fetching a non-basic versus my Wasteland deck, this is all things I can use. I could also just have their Ocelot Pride, but then they could copy it. And I didn't actually solve any problems. I think I'm going to play Baleful Strix here. If they want to use Daze on this, that's fine. I don't know if this is going to be a Wasteland matchup, but I have Troll, so I don't care. Okay, Strix is in. They can use Mockingbird to copy my Strix if they draw a land. Basic Plains, Island, okay. You've also got a Baleful Strix, that's fine. I'm now out of Daze range for the Troll plan. Oh, Bowmaster, what's up? Okay. This might flush out the Swords to Plowshares. Kill that. And Bowmaster is such a good card when you're on the correct side of it. Yeah, I wish Bowmaster was in my opener so I could have taken the Swords to Plowshares and just gotten to town with the Troll. But obviously that's not what happened. Here I'm going to Ponder. Bowmaster, Troll, Underground Sea. Okay. I will take a second Bowmaster. I'll probably cycle the Troll that's in my hand before I draw the Troll on top of my deck. I don't actually need more lands here. A Johnny Nakadal Pariah. Okay. Upkeep, cycle, get Underground Sea. I'd love a Fatal Push. Right, Force of Will, Polluted Delta, Wasteland. None of these are useful right now. Big shuffles. Another Troll. Okay. Life's getting worse here. Do I care if a Johnny flips? I guess is my question right now. Yes. All right. I'm going to attack with just my Baleful Strix. And I could use my Reanimate to flush out this Plow now, which makes my next creature better, but Thoughtseize is a card in my deck, so I will just chill right now. Cat Warrior is allowed to get in. That means my attacks are better because I can beat the Ajani itself. I just didn't want to trade with a cat. I like Tamiyo. That's something else start happening here. Okay, attack with everything. And then Tamiyo for sure. And I think I'm going to Reanimate now because now I have 2 things worth Swords to Plowsharing. They had to take the Troll. That is fine. That's by design. I'm back up to 12 life. Now attacks don't really make sense unless they have more tricks. I'm not going to cycle this other Troll. I'm 1 land away from just casting this sucker. Or drawing another Reanimate. Okay, in with my Flyers. I'll start there. And I'll eat my Clue. Underground Sea. I am almost out of lands to find. I'm going to get a Sewers because I can play around Daze anyway. Daze doesn't seem like the worst card, but I also just don't actually want it. And I will Reanimate my Troll again. A Force of Will pitching Daze. We got a 2-for-1 off of that. And pass the turn. It's Tamiyo's game to win or lose here. Drawing a Kaito would be great. Uh-oh. What does this 3rd land do? Jeskai revealed. Am I getting flaged? Do they actually have just the whole modern deck here? Amped Raptor. What's up? There's no energy in the pool. They flipped a Daze, the old Amped Raptor counterspell deck. They do have a red permanent now, which means I'm going to take 2 from this Cat Warrior. one more time. Force of Negation seems pretty bad. I'm going to attack with the flyers. Bowmaster could kill Amtraptor without actually dealing me any problems. Okay, in blocks, I'm going to draw my card because Kaito's something I could flip. Thoughtseize, all right. Do I want to Thoughtseize here? They have 2 cards in their hand. They've been mana screwed the whole game. Oh, wait. Yeah, you don't get this, right? Okay, yeah. Amtraptor is not Discover. I am trying to be careful with my life total. All right, a Daze and an Amtraptor in hand. I'm trying to be careful with my life total because I don't know how much burn they play. And I guess I'll just pass here. I expect the Raptor to attack, and I'll just pick it off in combat. Okay, Bowmaster. Wow, drew Force of Will. All right, well, that's why you sometimes cast spells when you know they're going to work. Okay, I will chump Amtraptor with Orc Army. And now I actually have to rip some goods here. Life total getting low. Fatal Push, finally. Okay, I'm going to leave back Strix now. I just want to make sure I don't get cheesed out of here, because I have so many more engines running than they do. I forgot to see if I was going to draw Kaito. Unpunished. Brainstorm, set me free. Hellbent opponent over there. Put back Underground Sea and Underground Sea. Flip Tameo, plus Tameo. Wasteland this. Volcanic Island. And I'm going to play Nile Spellbomb, just in case. Pass the turn. The Amtraptor is an easy attack here. It does only have 1 power, though. And they are going face. Okay, I'm going to see if my Fatal Push works on a Johnny before I make any other blocks. Yeah, I think I'm just going to block Cat Warrior with Strix, leave Bowmaster up, because if my opponent does something like Brainstorm or Ponder, I want that to be really bad for them. I'm just going to Spellbomb them. I want some velocity here. I have the mana. I don't know if they're actually going to have Flage or anything that cares about the graveyard. Okay. Tameo, get back. Fatal Push. I could get back Reanimate and have Baleful Strix. That doesn't sound great, though. Oh, I could Reanimate Bowmaster. That does sound great. All right, yeah, buy back Reanimate. Reanimate Bowmaster. Kill this Amtraptor. I'm going to hold these lands in case I draw another Brainstorm. And now Force of Negation holds up versus Lightning Bolt. They would need to come up with red mana plus Lightning Bolt. Guide of Souls. All right. I'm suddenly at 1 if they can play a creature. All right, that helps. Plus new Tameo. I got a blocker now. These MH3 creatures are super durable. This deck is sweet. But I also have an MH3 creature going nuts. Okay, Force of Will back up, plus Tameo. Next turn I could get Fatal Push, and then we're crunching. I'm still going to leave Tameo back to block. I could pretty safely get a clue there without losing the game, but I don't want to have to force a random creature just because it's worth 1 energy. Okay. Scalding Tarn. A Mockingbird for 2, so this is going to be a Bowmaster, which is not something I want to play against. Did they sandbag? Did they draw Lightning Bolt? Okay, good. That was really close. It felt like I was winning multiple times, and then they just had a creature that was better than all my stuff. Okay, let's beat this modern deck. Barrogoyf, Brazen Borrower. Engineered Explosive seems excellent. Murderous Cut. Sheoldred's Edict is a maybe. If it happens early enough, I mean, obviously, if they just start going off with Ocelot Pride, it's too late. Good chance this deck has Blood Moon in it. Dismember feels like a big loss of life, but if it kills something like Ocelot Pride, especially in response to a Mockingbird, it would be worth it. I think I'm getting off Reanimates. I don't like Force of Negation. Their deck's mostly creatures. Snuff Out's a free interaction if I have 4 life to spend, I guess. I didn't actually see a reason for Nile Spellbomb. I don't know if they're going to have Flage in their deck, how modern build they are. I like the Seas pushes. 4/4 lifelink still plays here, and it has the upside of getting back like a Bowmaster or a Strix. I'm still going to have Trolls in my deck to cycle. Like, this could still be upside if they don't have the graveyard hate. We saw red mana, but the red spell I saw was Amtraptor. Is that enough reason to bring in Hydroblast? Oh, this also kills the backside of a Johnny, which did checkmate me for like half that game. Okay. I think I can shave a Daze and a Force for 2 Hydroblasts. I'll do it like this. Okay, I like a Thoughtseize. My mana's good. I have the one sweeper in the deck available. Bulk Ponder. Okay. I like this. I didn't see a Wasteland in their deck. It's a good chance they play them, though. That would make sense with the strategy. It did not shuffle Ponder. Force of Will. I think I'm actually gonna play Tamiyo here. If they didn't lead on a 1-drop, I'm not really spiraling to catch up. If they Wasteland me here, it would be bad, but otherwise I could cycle Troll plus Thoughtseize them, and I'm generating clues compared to just not doing those things. That's not a Wasteland. We have seen Daze in their deck, and I don't really want to pitch Brainstorm when I have Tamiyo in play. Oscillate Pride, that's a 1-drop. Mockingbird, another 1-drop. Okay, I'll see what I draw for turn and then make decisions. Drawing the land straight up makes this a lot easier for me. Okay, Underground Sea. Thoughtseize first. See what their plan is to be to flip Tamiyo. Daze, Force, Pyroblast. Okay, so they can Pyroblast my flip Tamiyo. I'm going to take the Daze. I'm going to attack for my Clue token. Oh yeah, that can fly. Shit. I still get a Clue token. That's the same damage except they're at 21. And this only triggers in your end step. A Brainstorm. Found a blue card to counter their Pyroblast. That's huge. Put back Sewers and Basic Swamp. And I will send it. Forcing the Pyroblast. That's just so insane against the entire thing they're doing right now. If they drew a blue card to force back, it's fine. Engineered Explosives cleans up the whole board next turn. But it has to kill Tamiyo if Tamiyo still exists. Okay, Force Pitching Ponder. Moment of Truth. Okay, that worked. These Oscillate Prides don't do anything. Plus Tamiyo. And I am going to invest the Engineered Explosives for 1 before this Force of Will gets online. Just in case. Ajani. Ajani is not useless. I'm going to cycle my Troll, I think, here. I could just crack my Clue and draw the Undercity Sewer. I think that's fine, actually. This is a play that takes 2 mana instead of 1. The Hydroblast, we did it. Plus Tamiyo. Play Undercity Sewer. Force of Will. I'm going to leave that on top because I am trying to draw half my deck next turn. And I think I should play the Bowmaster right now because of the reasons we described last game. Okay. Shoot this Cat Warrior. You want to flip your Ajani? Destroy target permanent if it's red. This does play into Daze, but I know they're holding a Force if they ever find a blue card to go with it. Okay. Half my deck incoming soon. Unless they come up with another Pyroblast or they play a Lightning Bolt. Amped Raptor could be one of those things. Brainstorm. Okay. I get to slaughter their board off this Brainstorm. Okay, Shame concede in response to the Brainstorm. They probably looked at the 3 cards, realized they didn't help. All right. Tamiyo Coast to Coast versus a deck full of 1/1s. Game 1 was really interesting, though. That was back and forth. Game 2, the game plan was pretty much in hand the whole time. The big decision I made this game was to play Tamiyo on turn 1 instead of Thoughtseizing them, and I think that ended up going really well for me. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 3 versus Kulu Limpa, who is generally an Ancient Tomb gamer. On the draw, my hand might not be good enough, but on the play, I have a turn 2 Troll of Khazad-dûm plus Wasteland You. That gets around Blood Moon. The Wasteland doesn't work, obviously, but Chalice of the Void's a little annoying. Fable the Mirror Breaker resolves. Okay. I'm going to cycle for the... Do I want Basic Swamp, actually? I guess I have to. Gotta respect it. Swamp. Metamorphosis Fanatic. Unfortunately, 1 turn too early. Okay. I could Bowmaster to try to deny this Fable, but I think the whole point of this sequence existing in the deck is that we get to do this shit. All right. You're on a 3-turn clock. The Fable's really good. I would have preferred Blood Moon or, something that didn't attack me there. But let's get it. Discarded Blood Moon and the One Ring. Okay, can they immediately provide a follow-up? If they attack with the Goblin Shaman, do I respect Fury? I don't think I can. I think I just got to do whatever it is here. Love a land. Oh, I love a Thoughtseize too. Or I love a Force of Will. Thoughtseize you. Cursed Mirror, Pyrogoyf. Smashing. Smashing. Okay, Pyrogoyf takes more energy. I'm going to take the Cursed Mirror because I don't really want to get hit for 6, and I don't want to force that either. All right, I'll take the Mirror. And the race is on. That Ancient Tomb may or may not add up before the game is over. And this Reflection is a mild concern. Okay, there's the Pyrogoyf. Force of Will that, because it kills me. Land? Oh, technically. Okay. Tamiyo is not going to help this game. All I could do is attack and hope they don't come up with a plan to stuff me or, like, draw Broadside Bombardiers that kills me. Soken's on. Fuck. God damn it. Alright, I'm dead. They draw a land that doesn't hurt them and the follow-up Pyrogoyf. Yeah, I mean, this is just how this deck wins or loses. You go down to the wire, and then it's like, do they have exactly the follow-up, or did they draw land? Did they draw land, or did they draw Pyrogoyf? Are the questions asked. Okay. To the sideboard we go. Sucks to lose game 1 when we had the play and a good open. Nile Spellbomb comes out. The Reanimate stuff is relevant to cheese the opponent. Oh, this Metamorphosis Fanatic. If you had been 1 card down. Okay, it's fine. On the play, Daze is reasonable, but I am upgrading those to Hydroblasts. Like Murderous Cut just fine. The Reanimates are interesting because cheesing them is important, but also if they bring in Graveyard Hate, I don't want to get got by that. Kaito is a little bit shitty in matchups where he can die to combat damage. He really thrives in matchups where if they can't counter him, they're in trouble. I don't need like a lot of Thoughtseizes. I would like in opening play that's high impact. Consigned to Memory also counters the One Ring and Pyrogoyf triggers and Fable triggers. I might want some number of consigns in here. Bowmaster matters. Ponder can be a little slow in matchups like this. I think I'm going down another Thoughtseize. I could cut one of the Undercity Sewers. This deck was built on 17 lands, not 18. I added the 18th land, but I did just lose because I only had 1 land and not 2. Though if I didn't wasteland them, I would have won on the spot with Metamorphosis Fanatic, but how could I know that? Okay, Tamiyo might be a little clunky here. I'm not going to cut a land. I will try this. Engineered Explosives does clean up things like Chalice of the Void and Chrome Mox, but I'm not going in on that. Okay, I will keep this. I'm a little nervous, but it is a quick Tamiyo. Basic Island. They did not lead on Leyline of the Void, unfortunately. Ancient Tomb. Okay, it is Chalice. That's frustrating, but not unexpected. Pyrogoyf, we love it. I'm going to play the Sewer and bin Fatal Push. I think having Pyrogoyf down is more important than cracking a clue this turn. I should have cast Ponder. That's a sorcery in the graveyard. Fable resolves. Okay, now I have a choice. I could punish the Fable with the Bowmaster. I think I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to Ponder into the Void. That just puts a sorcery there. And then in the upkeep, I'm going to put 1 damage on Goblin Shaman with Bowmaster. Now if they draw even 1 card, this dies. And if they attack, it dies. Okay, no looting. They seem like they need the mana here. The One Ring, obviously very powerful. Land Fury, killing my 2 things, is very powerful. There's a land. And another Fable. Okay. Pyrogoyf is still only 4, which I don't love. I think I'm going to Ninjutsu Kaito this turn off of Tamiyo. If I do that, she's gone, though. Like, I can't replay her. I think that's okay, though. If I'm doing damage, like real damage to this Ancient Tomb deck. And I can lock down the Goblin, or I could Surveil 2, draw a card. I could buff this. I think I'm just going to Surveil 2, draw a card. Okay. Put Delta into the graveyard, put Force Negation on top. We like forces. Some of their stuff that matters is a creature, but like the Fable and the One Ring are not creatures. If they kill this Kaito, that's a Planeswalker in the graveyard for Barrogoyf. Okay, still no looting over there. Yeah, I think that Engineered Explosives is supposed to be in. It would be really good on this board, but instead I'm just kind of not doing anything and getting beat by Chalice. It's just one of those moments where maybe I should have played more than 5 matches with my deck before signing up for a real tournament. Okay, they do have Leyline of the Void. Interesting. I'm not going to fight over that. That means that Barrogoyf is going to be this size for the whole game unless they do something to change it. Drawing a troll right after that play is disappointing. Okay, am I going to surveil this turn? Or does putting more damage on them make more sense? I think finding like Brazen Borrower or some answer to this situation makes sense to me. Okay, surveil 2. I don't want these lands. Graveyard, graveyard. Ponder. Okay, it's time to go if it's not getting better. And pass. Yeah, I think this Chalice is going to beat me. They can do the Splinter Twin thing now in my end step. Cursed Mirror. That's a no. Pitchless Tameo, who no longer is helpful. Chrome Mox. There are 2 cards left in the hand. Exiled Sundering Eruption. Okay. They're at 7 life. I'm at 19. Kaito does matter here. If I plus Kaito, he's harder to beat in combat. Okay, I'm going to plus Kaito and attack with Goyf and Kaito. Just got a chump block there. I'm going to cycle Troll of Khazad-dûm for my basic swap. I'm just going to make sure I didn't mill it away already. I did not. All right, cycle Troll, get Swamp, play Swamp, and is there anything I would do? Maybe I should have drawn with Clue before I... Yeah, I should have drawn with Clue before I played my land, because if I have Wasteland and make them use Ancient Tomb, that's actually really good. Okay, they have 1 reflection of Kiki Jiki. They're Ancient Tombing to get 2 more. Okay, they're at 1 life. I am not dead to this inherently. If they have a Pyrogoyf in hand and mana to start copying it, I die very quickly. They can at least kill Kaito here, I guess. Yeah, the Kaito dies even if I block right now. I'm going to crack a Clue and see if anything comes together here. Nope. What would come together there? There's not even a solution. Okay. I need some big action now. They're at 1, though. An Orcish Bowmaster wins me the game. They have to block Barrogoyf every turn now. Seemed like they were likely to do that anyway. Ancient Tomb is off. Murderous Cut. Oh, that's interesting. That makes Barrogoyf 0 if I go all the way in on it. My opponent has put no cards into their graveyard this game somehow. That's impressive, actually. I'm going to draw first. Reanimate. Cannot cast that. I guess I'm just going to attack with my Barrogoyf. I'll at least keep gaining life. I could have hard cast Murderous Cut and not change the size of things, but I think holding onto this cut for a turn makes the most sense. And now Barrogoyf dies if I cast Cut or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or no, it would be 2, 3. Okay, I should fetch here. Underground Sea. Murderous Cut, the one that is real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, and it goes plus a creature, so it's actually still the same size. Right, that's how cards are. Losing that removal spell sucks. Oh god, don't cast Pyrogoyf. God damn it. Do these red prison players ever just draw a card that isn't the best card in their deck? Is it possible? Does it ever happen? I've never seen it. They must have a mana in their hand if they're doing that. Yeah, yep, and we're just fucking dead. Well, that's not true. I take a lot of damage here, but I can still draw an Orcish Bowmaster and win the game immediately. That is a brutal draw, though. And the basic mountain, it wasn't even like Chrome Mox that would have cost a card or something they have to put in play tapped or Ancient Tomb. Bowmaster. Wasteland, right on time, you asshole. Bowmaster. Bowmaster. Snuff out. Well, the good news is I'm not dead. The bad news is I'm pretty dead. Wasteland. So I want to take out this Shatter thing. Yeah, because they can't copy... Or I have to zap the Goyf now. is what's happening. Okay. Kill that. Now Brazen Borrower wins the game. If I can clear the Chalice of the Void, I can reanimate their Pyroglyph and shoot them with it. They can just start twinning me out here. Cheeky. Poke for 2. Come on, deck. We're full of good cards. Hydroblast, no! Chalice of the Void, too good. Alright. I've accepted I've lost this game. And they are operating on the inability to cast many of their cards. This is 8 damage. I'm dead next turn. I get 1 more draw this game. Okay, Bowmaster, Brazen Borrower. Do I have any other outs? Flipping Metamorphosis Fanatic would keep me alive a little longer. Baleful Strix is a redraw. I've got some hits here. Chrome Mox from the hand. This is just another copy. Just imprint literally anything here. Is a colorless mana you can use. Alright, deck. 1 more draw for the win. Big rips. Fudge! Alright. Yeah, that Engineered Explosives I mentioned in the end of sideboarding would have been great here. Yeah, this is 7 1-drops in my hand. GG. I wonder if I could have found 1 more damage somewhere, or like if I had pinged their face on that first Bowmaster, they would have be at 0 now, but they also would have been able to loot a card. Yeah, I just needed to draw a little better than them when it got into the dregs, and they had no good, or they were at like 1 card in hand that they hadn't cast for several turns, and then I had all these cards I couldn't cast. It was like, who's gonna find the better card first? And their deck is like 50% mana, 50% good cards, where my deck is 20% mana and a lot of these 1-drops that my opponent's deck turned off. So they definitely did their job. I lost a Chalice of the Void here. Disappointing. Against the wall, gotta win out from now. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the draw in round number 4. Every posted result my opponent has is on Painter. I think Fatal Push Wasteland is like enough to keep the hand on a strength of. I could kill a Goblin Welder or a Painter. I can waste an Urza's Saga. I can even play through Blood Moon, though they're not really main decking those anymore. Opponent went to 6. The Basic Mountain. Surprise to no one. A Force of Will, not a card I love in this matchup, but it is fine. I could have played Undercity Sewer here, maybe I'm supposed to, but having a Troll in the graveyard is useful to a variety of things my deck cares about. Okay, I think I should force this, and between Kaito Strix and Tamiyo, and I could play Tamiyo next turn if I'm not worried about Blood Moon, which I'm not. Okay, I'm going to force pitching Baleful Strix. I think Kaito actually getting them dead is useful. Okay, it didn't matter. They have the Spirit Guide Pyroblast. But I mean, it matters because the Baleful Strix is out of my hand. But they did successfully fight over this thing. And I am going to get a Underground Sea right now. I both don't think I can afford and don't think I have to play around Blood Moon. I'm going to push and waste and hope that this aggressive resource denial, and I went down 2 cards off Force Blue card. They went down 2 cards off Spirit Guide Pyroblast. Finding another Force is pretty interesting. This is why Tamiyo's in the deck. Oh, dumped Urza's Saga. I got another one of those. Don't love that. Can I find another Wasteland before I'm dead? Sewer. Reanimate. I like that. There's a Troll in my graveyard. The race is on. This Fable gets to flip. Fable the Mirror Breaker is the best card in any red deck since Fable the Mirror Breaker was printed, and it's not even close. This just completely changed what matchups like this one, what these Ancient Tomb decks can be about, which I think is good for Magic. I'm not raging. I'm just saying. It's a tough crowd. Okay, I can make a clue, draw a card, and then cast Reanimate. I'm going to draw first, see what my options are. Thoughtseize, I don't think that's important here. Having a creature in play that's bigger than their constructs is going to be important. And now trying to inflict damage before I lose. But these constructs will be 3/3s, and they can copy them with Reflection to make them 4/4s. Drawing any random artifact from the deck can make the constructs beat my trolls. And if they're willing to take a turn off, they can end step make a construct, untap make a construct, then they're bigger than trolls and have a lethal attack. That assumes they have another mana and assumes they're going to go on constructs here. If their hand is like Painter Servant right now, they might go for the Grindstone, play the Painter, hope for the best. And if they do that, I have to hope it's not backed by Pyroblast. After some thinking, they did make a construct. I don't think there is a bauble they can target or tutor in Painter that would kill Troll of Khazad-dûm. Blue decks can do that. Okay, now they have one construct that's big enough to battle my troll. I probably have to just trade with this. Yeah, I'm not winning the race. And now I'm looking for a fatal push or something to get me out of this. The second Tamiyo is not exactly what I'm looking for. There's 2 creatures in play, so Kaito doesn't even kill anything. Like, I could lock down the Reflection with Kaito, but then Kaito just dies to construct, and I picked up my Tamiyo for no reason. Okay, I'll attack with Tamiyo. Probably just have to draw a card and hope it's Fatal Push. Brainstorm could be Fatal Push. This also does flip Tamiyo. Not a Fatal Push. Orcish Bowmaster might be useful in the future. I don't think I'm going to Thoughtseize my opponent this game, and I don't need another Troll. I will not be casting another Reanimate. Plus Tamiyo. Fetch for Underground Sea, play a new Tamiyo. Okay, don't love this. If they have a Spirit Guide, they can make a surprise end-step construct token. Okay, that didn't happen. Another Saga, the third one of the game. Goblin Engineer. This will eventually kill me. I have to force this, because with the Reflection, this represents Painter and Grindstone, and this thing has haste with Lava Spur Boots, and they can copy it. Like, the engines are online here. Copying a construct, putting the boots on the one that's going to die, I think that's a mistake. That's just a mana you have to spend again next turn, when it could be on the big one, or the permanent one. Okay. I could chump block to have Tamiyo survive, but Planeswalker Tamiyo, who can't minus, doesn't matter to me. Yeah, Tamiyo's dead. Still in the market for a Fatal Push or a Wasteland. Here's that Thoughtseize again. Can't seem to get rid of that one. Attack. I draw with my clue. I did draw a Wasteland. Good news. Alright. That is a step in the right direction. I'm still under a lot of pressure here, but Bowmaster makes a blocker. Makes 2 blockers. Lotus Petal just makes the squad bigger. Made a construct. Okay. Found the correct target for this one. I'll end up at 6 this turn and in a lot of trouble next turn. Bowmaster, deal 1 to my opponent, jump the 6/5 with my Orc army. I'm at 6 and still looking for that Fatal Push. Oh, good. The last card in their hand was a spell, and they very well waited until after Bowmaster was flushed out. There are no artifacts in their graveyard, though. This game has unrolled in a fashion where that's somehow true. Force Negation sucks. Right now, deck, we need a removal spell. Tamiyo continues to do her thing. Poorly, but this is the thing she does. Come on, deck. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, that's a swamp, so we're probably dead. I imagine this matchup is just tough in game 1. My Troll Cheese came down too slowly against their construct is exactly big enough to beat it. And if they're willing to commit Goblin Welder to combat here, they just win. Or they can leave me at 1. Alright, they figured out the correct attack. I am dead. To the sideboard. Engineered Explosives, Hydroblast, Edict, Cut, Barrogoyf, all this stuff, Brazen Borrower. I brought in Dismember. I may or may not actually want that, but I was grabbing for it. Consigned to Memory is an ugly answer to Urza's Saga, but it does work. Harbinger's an ugly answer to Urza's Saga. Probably doesn't work. I don't want Leyline of the Void here. I might want Nile Spellbomb. They do some graveyard stuff. Force of Negation is very bad. Force of Will is pretty bad. Daze is pretty bad. This is a deck with main deck graveyard hate, and they're likely to bring in more. They did see a Reanimate. Can I get any consigns in here? Do I want any consigns in here? Is Consign better than Dismember? Is Consign better than Nile Spellbomb? I'm pretty sure of the other cards. I like Snuff Out. I think Kaito's fine. I could cut more forces and get consigns in. Then I'm just on a 0 Force of Will plan. Gotta fetch my island really aggressively. The problem with Force of Will is that they're a deck with 7 Pyroblasts in it, and spending 2 cards when any number of cards in their hand could be Pyroblast, or they had the, as we saw that game, they had the Spirit Guide into Pyroblast. It's really bad. Oh, Thoughtseize might be. Thoughtseize is good early, but as we saw that game, I didn't want it on turn 4, then I shuffled it away, and then I died with it in my hand against the Hellbent opponent. This could get me 1 just value force back in. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Okay, I think this hand is fine. I'm gonna keep. It is bad to Blood Moon because I can't afford to fetch Basic Island here. So I did specifically call out in the sideboarding that fetching Basic Island aggressively might be important. Okay, I will take this island just in case. Swamp's much easier to find because of the trolls. Mountain. They pass to my turn, which means they either don't have Pyroblast or don't think this is where they should use it. Because once I untap representing Brainstorm, everything gets worse. Attack with Tamiyo. I've at least generated a clue out of her now. If she dies, she dies. And I'm going to Ponder. There's that 1 of Force of Will and 2 Troll of Khazad-dûms. I can't imagine wanting this Force of Will. Not this early. I'm going to take the Troll with the intent to shuffle it on their turn. Lotus Petal. Ancient Tomb. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Alright, yep. Can't interact with that yet. And this is exactly why Force of Will is bad. They have an extra mana. They have 5 cards in their hand. They play 7 Pyroblasts. You want me to spend 2 cards on this? Get out of here. A Cycle Troll for basic Swamp. A Re-Tamiyo. Attack with this Tamiyo. I can just shove Barrogoyf here, who is 3/4. I could also try to control this Goblin Shaman. I could, like, Wasteland them again. I think I'm just going to go Big Barrows. If they cast a Fury to finish off Barrogoyf, I think that's okay. Anything they discard to Fable could make this worse for them. Like, if Goyf becomes 5 toughness, I'm just Gucci. They discarded an enchantment, so Goyf is 4/5 now. Got rid of Urza Saga in the face of this Wasteland. Or in the face of the second Saga in their hand. Which I'm also ready to waste. Am I dead? Alright, Painter resolves. Yeah, if they have Grindstone in their hand, I just lose here. Because they have an extra mana. They can Pyroblast Goyf now. Maybe that's the plan. I prefer that to the Grindstone. Okay. Goyf is dead. It's important that I answer Painter Servant soon, or else the Fable the Mirror Breaker will be able to make more Painter Servants. A big draw. Brainstorm. I don't hate Brainstorm. Getting Tamiyo into Tamiyo mode. Planeswalker mode is cool. Also, setting up Metamorphosis Fanatic is a big deal. Okay. Make my clue. Brainstorm. Show me Fatal Push, or something that kills Painter Servant. Alright, no, nothing of the sort. Put back Undercity Sewer and Metamorphosis Fanatic. Plus Tamiyo. Wasteland the Saga. Underground Sea. And pass representing Brazen Borrower. Once again, the issue with Brazen Borrower is the issue with every other blue card. They can answer for 1 mana. Okay, I could Brazen Borrower the Goblin right now. And I'm committed to 2 mana. Alright, I'm going to try to Theft the Goblin. Once again, dead to Grindstone. But they could have killed me with Grindstone last turn and didn't do it. I can't play around Pyroblast here anyway because they could just blast Tamiyo. Okay, that's gone. There's no good attacks here. 3 mana in the pool. 4 mana in the pool. Karn the Great Creator, shit. Alright, yeah, I mean, there are Karn builds of this deck kicking around. If they get Tormod's Crypt right now, that would be really shitty for me. If they get Grindstone, that's bad too, but I'm kind of more worried about Tormod's Crypt. Pithing Needle. Okay, so they can name Tamiyo with this. They didn't play it, though. Okay, so they must have Pyroblast. Or they just want to save their Lotus Petal. Okay, I am going to Miracle the Fanatic. I would like some damage on the board. If I can get it. Troll versus Barrogoyf. Troll hits harder. Yeah, I'm going to get Troll. And I could minus Tamiyo to grab Ponder and try to find Snuff Out. I could get Brainstorm and try to Brainstorm into land plus Fatal Push. Fatal Push would not be on unless it's a fetch land, and I know my top card right now is Undercity Sewer. Okay, I'm going to get Ponder. Looking for Snuff Out or Dismember. Ponder. Nile Spellbomb, Orcish Bowmaster. None of this matters. Shuffle. Consign to Memory doesn't work with Painter in play. I am going to waste the Sanction Tomb and at least hope I can keep them off of wishing for Grindstone and killing me right now. Okay. Fingers crossed that they don't have 2 more mana or else I lose. Like Land Spirit Guide, Land Lotus Petal, Ancient Tomb. Bunch of ways that I just get grinded out right now. Killing my Troll of Khazad-dûm. So they must have either just drawn that or they're just violently protecting that Lotus Petal. Because they could have countered Metamorphosis Fanatic to get that and this. All right, there's Plussing Karn deleting my clues now. A Reflection can protect Karn this turn, but it costs them the Lotus Petal and they clearly don't have mana right now. This is the best case scenario for me. Plus Tamiyo. I think Brainstorm is better than Strix here. If I find the Fatal Push or the interaction at all. Okay, Dismember, thank goodness. Get rid of Troll of Khazad-dûm and back up Tamiyo. Play my land, and I will declare an attack on Karn the Great Creator. Either Karn dies here, or their board is empty. Those are the outcomes that are possible right now. Okay, does this Strix matter versus having Consign up? I think I'm just going to pass. I want to kill this Painter Servant, but I want to do it in a way that doesn't get blown out by Pyroblast. They can put 1 damage on Tamiyo now if they're willing to tap the Reflection to do it. And then I get to start eating clues because Karn's gone. Okay, cool. Just denied the resources enough. They had multiple engines running, but not enough mana to do stuff. That was crazy. Okay, on the draw now. Metamorphosis Fanatic showing up, making that game possible. I think if they didn't pile up Graveyard Hate last game, they probably will now. That was the one Reanimator left in my deck. Hopefully it scares the shit out of them, and they over-adjust. On the draw, am I more interested in Force of Will? Probably not, for all the reasons I've made clear. Yeah, I think this is just the deck I'm going to submit. In Thoughtseize is my one way to get an honest 1-for-1 in this matchup. I don't know. Without having to counter the spell. Because all their cards are worth 2 cards. Even their lands are worth 2 cards. But Thoughtseize is a bad top deck. Yeah, I'll just leave this as it is. I'd love to see a Multa 6 with Leyline of the Void. Like, out of them. It's a massive overcorrection. Nope, just Snapcap 7. I will keep my hand. No Leyline of the Void involved. Okay, I can attack their board. I can attack their spells. I can attack their Graveyard Engine. I can play on basic lands. This is what I want out of this deck, I guess. I'm just going to Delta Pass. If they have another turn 2 Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which has been a popular play against me the last 2 rounds, I'm ready to fight over it on a 1-for-1 basis. Painter's Servant resolves. They chose blue. I'm just going to dismember this thing immediately. I could wait till my turn and protect the dismember with Hydroblast, but I think the velocity is more important. Wasteland doesn't have a home yet. I'm going to go basic Swamp Nile Spellbomb. Leave up the Hydroblast. I'm just worried about Fable the Mirror Breaker doing its thing, the whole 3-for-1 with card selection in the middle business that it is about. Okay, they do have a mana up for Pyroblast, but I'm still gonna fight my fight. Wow, okay. Wasn't expecting those to work. Getting Baleful Strix on versus Ponder. I think I should Ponder. Tamiyo Strix Brainstorm. I like Tamiyo Brainstorm. Okay, don't shuffle. Play Tamiyo. I can flip Tamiyo right now if I'm willing to delete the Spell Bomb from future utility. Yeah, let's get it happening. And Painter is one of the cards I would care about in their graveyard, so it's not completely wasteful, but it's not as sweet as, like, turning off an entire Goblin Welder line all at once just by being in play. Pithing Needle can name this Tamiyo Seasoned Scholar, unless they're more afraid of Wasteland. My top card right now is Baleful Strix. I can shuffle it away if I don't want it, and I don't think I do. Okay, they did name Tamiyo. They've got a Painter. Now I am suddenly stressed out because there are 1 card kills left in their deck. Okay, the Boots, they can attack me for 1 here, and Painter just got slightly harder to kill. Okay, they are ignoring Tamiyo and attacking me. Trust in the Pithing Needle. They're probably accurate in their guess. I just completely forgot to shuffle in my upkeep. It's fine. What could go wrong? We're just playing a matchup where every card matters. Bowmaster, Baleful Strix, Troll. I'm going to put away the Troll. And I'm probably just going to end up with all these cards again. Because if I put away the Troll, put away the... Oh, I could... No, I'm going to play Wasteland this turn. Okay, put away... I could also just bet that the card in their hand is not Grindstone. How do I see the most cards with the most utility this turn? I think it's not wastelanding them. If I put back Troll and Bowmaster, I mean, Bowmaster is good against the Welders of the world. Troll and Strix. And then I fetch and play a Strix. There's Strix. Nile Spellbomb. Might as well put it into play. And just hope that their hand does not have Grindstone in it. There's 3 mana in the pool. That's a lot more than Grindstone costs. I don't love Fable and Mirror Breaker, but I'm not literally dead. And they didn't want to lose 2 life to get a treasure here. Another Troll. Can't get away from this guy. I'm going to Swamp Cycle, Troll, and get a Undercity Sewer. Try to get a little selection here. Sewer. Show me a removal spell. Kaitos. What does Kaito do for me here? It picks up my Strix and replays it. Yeah, I'll leave Kaito on top, actually. And I am going to pass. No attacks. Upkeep Bowmaster. Put 1 on the Gobblerino. If they're willing to just send it to try to find a Grindstone here, I might get to roast them a little bit. Okay, they did discard 1 card. They're willing to delete the Goblin Shaman to move this game forward a little bit. I hope they didn't move it forward into Grindstone. No, there's 1 mana in the pool. Please cast Pyroblast. Soul Guide Lantern, Pithing Needle. Cast literally anything other than Grindstone. Blood Moon me. Fuck! Yeah, they're fearless. And I boarded out my forces. There's 1 left in the deck. Alright, just gonna make sure there's no tricks in my list to survive a single turn, and there's no anything here. Yep, that's game. This matchup actually feels bad and like a blank spot for the matchup spread of the deck. I talked about how you want the cheese factor versus like Ancient Tomb strategies, and you want the control factor versus combo and control decks, and then you want the Strix and all the removal versus mid-range decks. The Metamorphosis Fanatic really good there. Painter just kind of exists in the lane where none of these strategies really bother it that much, and if they can get anything going, obviously if I just have like 3 fatal pushes and they don't Pithing Needle Tameo that game, it's fine, but that's asking for specific rollout of cards where your fundamental construction, which is playing 6 main deck forces to keep shit off your back, just doesn't work versus Painter and their Wall of Pyroblasts. Okay, so I am dead in this tournament. I'll play 1 more round to create plausible deniability for people who wanted to look at the timeline and get spoilers. Also, I'm just don't have anywhere else to be right now, and 5 matches is normally what I offer for a league, so I will play another round and then see how I feel after that round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button, and if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I am on the play in round 5. I will keep this hand. I could Thoughtseize them on 1, or I could just play the Sewers, get a little selection, and unleash the Dogs of War on turn 2. I don't know the matchup, and I would rather have mana in play. If I was sure they were combo, I would just Thoughtseize them. But I will chill. Fatal Push. I'll keep that on top. There's the Fatal Push I was begging for the entirety of last match. I found it. Island, Tameo. Well, there's a Fatal Push on top of my deck. Okay, I'm going to Thoughtseize them first, and then that'll inform if I'm going to play around Wasteland or not. There's literally a Wasteland in the hand. We've got Daze, Kaito, a Wasteland. I could Daze their Daze and protect my land. I could take this Ponder. Take this Ponder, Daze their Daze. I get wasted. Kaito is just sitting in their hand for a while. Okay. I'm going to take the Ponder. I'm playing the long game here. Get a Swamp. Fatal Push Tameo. They Daze this. I Daze back. Their wasteland is off for a turn. But I am picking up an untapped land, or a tapped land. There goes your days. Hand is Kaito and lands right now. And let's see where this goes. Undercity Sewer from the grip. Kept the card on top. Brainstorm's a little awk. I'm looking for that next land to dump a Fatal Push here. I could not Thoughtseize the Wasteland, which is the card I was worried about. I did my best to drag the game out to a spot where maybe it's less painful. Okay, that's gone. Can I draw a land immediately? Nope. Alright, all 3 Fatal Pushes. You spend a game begging for them, and then they're all here when you need lands. I had plenty of lands last match. What if I could just choose what I draw every game? Would that be fair to my opponents? There's Scalding Tarn. Brainstorm. Now I don't know anything anymore. If I ever did. If I had fetched Underground Sea on this swamp, I could have Brainstorm digging for the land, but the fear of them finding another Wasteland was high. I don't have to lose to Wasteland with this deck if I choose not to, in most situations. Fetch, Underground Sea, Ponder. My opponent cast Brainstorm and Ponder this turn. This would have been an insane turn to cast Orcish Bowmaster with Force backup. Did not shuffle their Ponder. Hey, easy money. Always had it. I don't want to play my Bowmaster into a potential Bowmaster from them, so I'm just sort of chilling for a second. Nether Goyf is fine. If I just push this thing, it's gone, and I don't have to think about it anymore. Well, I don't have to think about it until they replay from the graveyard. And here I will embrace madness, perhaps. Troll of Khazad-dûm. I am going to put that on top because it is another land. Cycle Troll. Underground Sea. This should put my opponent's radar up because if they're playing Dimir Tempo, they know that this is not a Troll of Khazad-dûm deck. And now their Reanimate ears should be listening. I don't know that this Kaito is here anymore. I'm just leaving it revealed so I don't forget about it. Or they might just main phase it right now. The Nether Goyf's coming back from the bin. I'm not going to fight over that. Bowmaster can block that for a long time. I think I'm just going to untap. Another Force means that I can Brainstorm if I want to, but I'll chill. I have to think about Kaito on this Nether Goyf, so I will have to block it with an Orc Army. Attack has occurred. Bowmaster. 1 to your smelly face. Block. Keep that Kaito out of here. Your own Bowmaster. I still have 1 left. Or I could just counter this one. I think I am going to force pitching Force on this Bowmaster. Because there is a critical mass of creatures in which Kaito's coming in, even if I kill their Bowmaster. Okay, force me back, pitching Daze. If I Brainstorm now and they have another Bowmaster, it's really bad, but alright. I will take a spin right now. We're in there. Okay, a bunch of cards that draw cards. I'm going to put back Brainstorm and Strix. Or Strix and Brainstorm, I think. Yeah, that's better. Okay, you win the fight, you get a Bowmaster. Then I fight back and get a Bowmaster. 2 cards left in your hand. Let's do this thing. Kill this. Tamio. I have enough blockers now to not get Kaito'd, even through a Fatal Push. If they had a second Bowmaster, they would have kicked my teeth in on that Brainstorm last turn. Fatal Push confirmed. Now I have to lose a creature straight up if I don't want to get Kaito'd. The top of my deck is Baleful Strix, though. Shit. Alright, well, if they held on to the Kaito this long, it's happening. I am going to block Orc Army. Yep, they have clutched firmly to the Kaito this long, and now I'm in a bunch of trouble. Their hand is Nether Goyf. Top of my deck is Baleful Strix. And they are drawing the card. Dumped a Delta and a Force of Will, drew a random card. A Strix. Do that first. Polluted Delta. I guess I'll Brainstorm. Troll, Wasteland. Okay, Troll and Wasteland are both not helpful right now. I actually do like the second Strix. As Kaito is hexproof, not indestructible, they have to remove this Baleful Strix or use Kaito to stun it. I'm out of Undercity Sewers for this Polluted Delta. Okay, they did stun my Strix, which means they don't have Bowmaster. It does mean I'm going to 9, and then I fetch to 8, and we know they have a large Nether Goyf in their hand, plus 2 other cards. Your own Strix. Busted. And Nether Goyf. And Nether Goyf. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, my Strix has to be really good at this point. I'm not going to bother with basics. That's not what the game's about. Land's bad. Blue-black, Strix, hit a removal spell, or Reanimate that can hit Bowmaster, or another land and die. Cool. Alright. We jockeyed around that Kaito for a long time. I drew many Force of Wills in a matchup where it's terrible, and my opponent drew 0 Force of Wills in a matchup where it's terrible. That's where I lost that fight. My interaction was 2 for 1. Or they did force me once that game, did they? I feel like that maybe that happened. They're all blurring together at this point. Barrowgoyf, Edict. Edict can kill Kaito straight up. That's good. Nile Spellbomb actually does turn Nethergoyf into a tiny little wuss baby. Dismember is fine. Cut's good. Explosives kills Goyfs and Tamios. They didn't see a Reanimate. They did see enough indicators to know that I play Reanimate, though. I think I'm going to shave 1 Reanimate, but leave the package in until I really get them with it. Okay, let's get it. A 1-lander with Tamio. It's a little risky versus Wasteland, but I'm willing to take a risk. Tamio's just really good. And the daze means that having 1 land is less harmful than normal. I have the Reanimate immediately if I find a troll. Let's convert that into gas. I will say, having played this deck for 10 rounds now, the mana makes me nervous. And not because it's constructed incorrectly. I think it's constructed fine. I even added a land. But compared to decks that are just rock solid on mana, like 20 lands instead of 18, because having the wastelands that don't cast your spells and the trolls that are only lands if you have a land already, you're messing with a lot of margins. You're fudging the margins a lot on responsible deck building. And I don't think you mulligan 1-landers that could cast a bunch of spells like this one, but at the same time, I am concerned about the card Wasteland. Underground Sea, that's good. Thoughtseize. I think I want to daze this. I don't have a land drop next turn anyway, and if they know about the daze, that's worse for me. Hey, there's that boy. I'm gonna make a clue and pass the turn. Wasteland, okay. I will cycle Troll of Khazad-dûm in response, and not gonna start playing around Wasteland now. Let's go. Nether Guaf. That is smaller than my creature. Okay, moment of truth. Is this trick gonna work? Do they have surgical extraction? They do not. My life total is low, and this is exactly the fundamental theory behind how this deck is constructed, is that Nethergoyf is a little wuss, and Troll of Khazad-dûm is a Giga Chad. And now we will test it directly. Thoughtseize, okay. This takes Strix, maybe? A Nile Spellbomb if they're worried about this Nethergoyf, but Strix is, I think, the best card in my hand. At least fundamentally in the matchup. They'd have to dismember here to remove this troll. Strix is gone. Ponder. I can F6 now. They know what's going on. They made their land drop already, so I'm not getting wasted here. I don't think there's anything that removes Troll of Khazad-dûm for 0 mana. Not anything that would actually be in the deck. Like, you could say Snap or Snapback. I guess that's the card. The pitch on summon. Like, there's stuff in Magic that could do it. I don't think there's a card that would be in their deck. Lotus Petal Dismember. Shut up. You know what I mean. Shuffle the library. They're feeling the squeeze. No attack. Bowmaster. I'm going to attack with both. Play Nile Spellbomb. This can become Fog if it needs to. I'm risking Murktide a little bit by letting them untap here with their graveyard, but I'm playing stronger against the Nethergoyf. Now they have a Wasteland, but I don't actually need mana to win this game. Alright. Bombing them would not have stopped this Kaito, and they do get to lock down my Troll, so now I do need a mana. Okay, Troll sleepy. Kaito dominating the mirror once again. Land immediately. Fudge. Alright, Ponder. Find me a land immediately. Okay. Several lands. Thoughtseize, Wasteland, Misty, do not shuffle, draw. Do I want to block with Tamio? I could also spellbomb them and flip Tamio. Interesting. That shuffles away the land that's on top of the deck that I know I want. Okay, I'm going to attack and then flip Tamio. Attack my opponent. And I think here I do fetch the basic swamp. Or nope, literally can't. I won't fetch the basic swamp because I literally can't, and that's cheating. Alright, bomb you. I would like to draw a card. Tamio wakes up. There's an island. Unless they're sitting on another wasteland. Wasteland number 3 in the grip. I can play Bowmaster next turn. Okay, here we go. If they plus Kaito, he still does not kill Tamio. But if they plus Kaito, they can minus to restun my troll on the turn after that, which sounds correct. Kaito's larger. There's another Goyf in their hand that currently is a 0-1, but Wasteland will make it at least a 1-2. They are spending effort on Tamio here. Bowmaster would finish her off. I don't want to see a Bowmaster, though. Let's not speak that into existence. Oh no, the Wasteland's being tapped for mana. Bad, 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 bad. Okay, that's bad. And we know that Nether Goyf's in the hand as well. Oh, blue mana. Tamio, is that even worse? I'm not sure. Okay, Baleful Strix is not better than Bowmaster here, obviously, because they have their own Bowmaster and Strix would just die on arrival. I do like having my own Tamio now. And game on, where they have a powerful Planeswalker, and I don't. But they do have to use their Planeswalker to stun Troll, or Troll will kill their Planeswalker. And then Strix is pretty good on this board. Just gotta hope that those other 3 cards in their hand are no good. Fatal pushed my Bowmaster. Don't like that. This attack is for 4, plus the other 2 dopes. I will block. They have to stun the Troll again, unless they want to try to surveil into a Brazen Borrower, or a better way to deal with that. Their Tamio can buy back their Fatal Push and kill Strix, though, if I don't find an answer to their Tamio. I'm holding an answer to Tamio, but it's not a good one. And if they Wasteland me, it doesn't even work. There's the stun. And Unlicensed Hearse. Okay. They did bring in Graveyard Hate, but it's Graveyard Hate that is good. I guess I have to Baleful Strix here and hope to find another piece of useful interaction. Brainstorm. I mean, that's a Tamio. Attack my opponent for -1. They did just cast Brainstorm, so I don't know for sure that the card in their hand is still another Goyf. If it's Daze, I just lose if I don't play out this Wasteland. But if I play out the Wasteland, then I lose the ability to play other cards that might be useful. What card is useful here? Reanimate doesn't matter. Everything else costs 2. Alright, I will play around Daze. Brainstorm. I'm currently at 1 on the board. Oh good. Fetch lands. Those are useful for opponent or for players who are at 1. I put back those 2. Tamio is up. And I'll pass. If they decide to fight over Tamio rather than go face, then I'm at 6 and my fetch lands are fine. But I doubt that's going to be the case. And that Nether Goyf that's kicking around could crew the Unlicensed Hearse and immediately add 2 power to the board, which is actually enough to potentially change the outcome of this game. Yeah, if they minus Tamio, get Fatal Push, push Baleful Strix, play Nether Goyf, crew Unlicensed Hearse, they attack for exactly lethal. And plus Kaito. We also may have uncovered a hole in the deck's construction, like the logic behind it. The idea was Nether Goyf doesn't hit that hard. However, if Nether Goyf's going to convert it to Kaito more reliably, it hits really hard. In these mirror matches, I do actually feel extremely unfavored versus pure Dimir tempo. Oh wait, this goes to 5, 6. Oh no, I'm at 1. I thought Kaito was 1 point bigger than it was. Okay. I could be at 1 here. But I'll finish that thought. If, like, I have 2 drops, like Baleful Strix and Orcish Bowmaster that could convert into Kaitos, which is fine, but it's not... Those cards are great to pick up to Kaito as well, but I'm not going to pick up Troll of Khazad-dûm to put Kaito into play. And this game, they had their Nether Goyf, then I had my Troll, and I was laughing all the way to the bank because their Nether Goyf looks terrible next to my Troll, but then their Nether Goyf quickly turned into a Kaito, which has dominated the entire game, and my Troll has been inconsequential. And they've cast this Nether Goyf twice now. Okay, so I go to 1 on this attack. I lose to a Bowmaster. But when is that not true? I'll Spellbomb. Okay. Well, Tamio is not going to rebuy a spell this turn. They are Hellbent, but it doesn't matter because I know my top 2 cards in my deck are useless. Yeah, if I draw a card, they draw a card. I guess I just have to ponder here and hope to see some cards that matter. Murderous Cut. That does not kill Kaito. I will shuffle. Hexproof, busted. I want the Shouldred's Edict, I guess. Brainstorm, another spin into the garbage. Bowmaster. Is that the one card that could have done anything here? Okay, put back Thoughtseize and Delta, two useless piles of shit. Bowmaster. Kill Tameo. Block. Okay, they are spellbombing in response. Looking for Daze or Fatal Push. Okay, kill Tameo. Then plus my Tameo. Okay. Fingers crossed. If they draw any creature that could crew Unlicensed Hearse, they win. If they draw a Fatal Push or any removal spell, they win. There's mana in the pool. Shoot the Sheriff. Yep, that's certainly a Sheriff, and now I lose. Okay. GG's. And now I will drop from the tournament. Okay, so I was not super comfortable with the mana in this deck. I feel like trying to build a Delver, like 17 land mana base, when your plan, especially post board, revolves entirely around 2 and 3 mana cards, that maybe that doesn't work. You compare it to Grixis Delver, where you have Lightning Bolt and then like DRC is shredding through your deck, and you could do tempo stuff even if you think Nethergoyf isn't that good. I would rather be this deck versus combo than Grixis Delver. And that's probably true of Dimir Tempo as well. I'd rather be this deck than Dimir Tempo versus combo. I would rather be this deck than Dimir Tempo versus Eldrazi, but I think that Grixis Delver might get an edge in that matchup. I think this deck and Grixis Delver are both solid versus non-Eldrazi Ancient Tomb decks. However, this deck is better playing on basics than Delver is. I don't like this build in the Dimir Tempo pseudo mirror. I think that although Nethergoyf is a wuss, Kaito is a monster. And I have my Kaitos too. It's not like I'm not playing this card. It's not like I don't have answers to this card in my deck or removal to keep Kaito off the board in the first place by knocking out the ninjutsu enablers. It's just that if your opponent has this card, you don't, you're in big trouble. Another thing that happened is I signed up for a medium high stakes tournament as far as Magic Online events go with a deck that I've played 5 times. And that this is how quickly a tournament can come off the rails. At 2-0, I didn't board in Engineered Explosives versus Red Prison. I said in sideboarding, this kills Chalice of the Void, but I think I'm okay. And then I happened to get Chalice of the Voided in a spot where I didn't have any of my 6 forces and didn't have my Brazen Borrower, and then I drew 8 1-drops that game instead of a Baleful Strix and a Kaito. And if I have Engineered Explosives, maybe I just, play that, clear the Chalice, win that match easily, then I'm in a different bracket, then I don't see Pater, then I don't see, like the whole universe goes off into a different world. And the universe where I board an Engineered Explosives in match 3, maybe I'm not 2-3, maybe I'm 5-0, but we don't know. Like maybe now I'm 3-2, or maybe I just didn't draw the Engineered Explosives in that match anyway and lost. But I did not maximize for my outs. And in a league, it doesn't matter, but in something like this, it matters a lot, where every loss is so much more important. A league, you go 3-2, you still made money. In a real Swiss tournament, you have to be a lot tighter than that. This was not my tournament to win, neither through preparation nor play. And appropriately, I will not win it because I've dropped. I think this deck is a cool idea, but it probably needs some work, or it needs a pretty specific metagame for it to make sense. No Painter players. That's where I want to play this. Okay, I'm going to leave this here. You will see this down the road, weeks after this event happened. I'm not going to rush release a 2-3 where one of my opponents didn't show up. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.